is probably The reason why they are so similar is because of this mass, it's not hysteria, but it's just like this mass conclusion that they are the same thing because of the first person to describe aliens described them that way. And in their head, because they experience something and don't necessarily remember exactly what they look like, their brains automatically fill in the blanks. Therefore, it is usually a large, craniumed, skinny, grayish being that came from a flying saucer. But in reality, it might be, I don't know, it might be something completely different. But because our brains are programmed to think that they look like this, then therefore they look like that. So in a foundation of the subject matter of aliens, it is I think it's one of the more heavier of the topics than cryptids and conspiracies and paranormal, because the next one after this is paranormal. I think there is more to aliens than there are to cryptids. And here's why. Because the concept of the obscure cryptids that we talk about, and I'm talking about the obscure ones, the casual believer in cryptids can just like kind of like wave them off, because we kind of know that those are probably just tall tales. Those are lumberjack stories. Those are the creepy critters that we hear about on campfire tales. Okay, yeah, I get that. Cool. Things like Sasquatch and the large aquatic ones, those are the ones that are more scrutinized, because those are more believable, in my opinion, than like the squonk, or obviously like the snallygaster. Something like aliens, because of the amount of firsthand, and I'll say evidence in quotations, the firsthand evidence, and I say it in quotations because there are some that have been investigated to be truthful. Now, there are a lot out there who believe that they are abducted every single night. Far-fetched, perhaps, but because we're talking about aliens, I think the leeway that aliens get is more than cryptids, because of the amount of first-hand accounts. Does that make sense? So when we do episodes, or like when I do episodes about aliens, it usually comes from multiple sources rather than vice cryptids, when it's usually from a article written in the 1800s, or is probably from a one person handed account that's living in like the third generation household in the woods in, I don't know, in West Virginia. The thing about aliens is that aliens can be observed or encountered, or the first-hand accounts can be damn near anywhere. So you can be sitting in the middle of the city, in downtown Los Angeles, in downtown New York, in downtown San Antonio, Dallas, in Tennessee, in Nashville, and something could occur that can equate itself to aliens. And the most fascinating thing about the subject matter of aliens is the complete I want to say acceptance from other people, vice somebody saying that they saw Bigfoot or they saw the Loch Ness Monster. And I think that is because of the probability and the possibility of extraterrestrial life being out there, and maybe a little bit to do with the pop culture and the belief of there might be something, and how many. Oh, and this bleeds into conspiracies too, because then you're starting to go into Area 51, declassified documents from the government with UFO contacts. I mean, let's just not forget the open statement from the government that said that, yeah, we did witness UFOs, but I mean, we just don't know what they are. And I have yet to read those declassified files or see the full interview, but I've seen enough post content that it is incredible to believe that it's become so, I think the right word is passé. Like it's just part of our culture now, and it is so like minutely truth bombed that it just goes in one ear and just, okay, I guess they're real now, and then out the door, okay, let's focus on something else now, instead of like really getting into like the nitty gritty about these occurrences and what's going on. I mean, I have seen videos from other foreign countries about the full acknowledgement that the governments are in alignment with other alien life forms, alien races, and I don't know. It sparks the mind. It sparks the mind like a scientist would discover a new formula for something. It sparks a childhood thing when we are discussing aliens and the possibility that they're here and they're just, cruising around. I do love the comedic standpoint that a lot of comedians have, that aliens are just here as visitors, because we are seen as this low level society that hasn't evolved to an advanced society yet, because truth be told, we're still dealing with shit that should be dealt with like a long time ago, but aliens would come in and be like, oh, look at those, apes. look at those pre-civilized apes, and we're here thinking that we are, an advanced race, but man, we are not. But I always just find it funny how comedians just kind of just put that out there. The thing that I enjoy most about the concept of aliens, about the subject matter of aliens, isn't necessarily the fact that they are here. They visited. They may or may not have abducted people. I think the most interesting thing about it is that it gives perspective on just how lucky an individual is. Does that make sense? Because we live in a world that continuously spins. It does not matter what happens. It's still going to spin. And the fact that there might be something that is light years above our technology that could possibly just end our entire existence is scary. But the fact that they might come into our planet and offer a solution to our issues, like, what if that alien life form were to visit our planet and say, look, you guys have a serious pollution problem. We solved it by doing this. And it's the beginning formation of like a intergalactic federation of species. Then my childhood dream of exploring space and being far off in the universe and seeing things that you never would have thought that you'd be able to see. It just sparked something very, very cool. So yeah, I think that's like the foundation baseline on why aliens is such an interesting topic to talk about, and it's fascinating to do research on, because one of the things that you encounter when you are searching for UFOs is the amount of information. There are books, there are scientific papers, there are first-hand accounts, there's videos, documentaries, there's news stories, there are there are podcasts, there's a whole lot of information that you can sift through. Now, I am not an astrophysicist. I am not a man of science for the stars. What I do know and what I do believe is that there is something out there. Do I think that they may have visited Earth once? I would like to think that they did. Whether or not they stayed or they're behind the scenes or something, I don't know. But I don't believe that there are I don't believe that there is like an army of aliens like Independence Day ready to just destroy the Earth. It doesn't make sense. Like, why? It doesn't make sense that would happen. But the fact that most of the content that is consumed concerning aliens, it does have that negative factor. And there's some content out there that is positive. But I don't know, man. I just really, really, really like the idea of aliens. It's just such a cool thing to think about. Now, whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, and whether there is a intergalactic plot against the Earth, I mean, I don't blame them. We are kind of fucking up, but I do like the fact that this is something that just won't go away. Like, you can probably convince a believer of cryptids and give them so much information, and then eventually they might say, okay, yeah, I don't think there is enough evidence to suggest that the Loch Ness Monster is out there, you know. But you can't do that with aliens. I don't think so. I don't think so. So yeah, that is my aliens TED Talk. I don't really know if I hit all the points that I wanted to in this 101, but that only leaves room for improvement, right? We can go into a 202. We can go to the advanced class of aliens. But yeah, not personally. I am a believer. I'm a believer in cryptids. I'm a believer of aliens. I like them. They're fun. Okay, so Thank you again for joining me on this episode of 50 States of Terror, the American Cryptid podcast. I am your favorite podcast host, Anthony Diaz. I do appreciate every single one of you. If you have a chance, share the show. Leave a comment somewhere. Ziggy's Wisdom. Short and sweet. Ziggy's Wisdom. Just take a moment and look up. Look up at the stars, man. If you're feeling like shit that day, hard day at work, hard day at the office, hard day busting rocks, hard day trying to make a buck, hard day being a dad, being a mom, being a husband, wife, partner, or just one of those fucking days. Just look up. Just look up for a little bit, and you'll just see that there is a world, a literal universe that is just at peace. And you can be too. All right? Later, y'all.